Hi, I'm Sapphire Star. This is Organized Chaos. Welcome to my world. This is part 2 of my return to the year return, Ghana, my return to Africa. And I did a before you go video to just kind of help you prepare for your trip back to the motherland. In this video here, I'm going to talk about more or less about my journey and my experience while there. Again, I did some planning. I did my tours. I did my accommodation, everything with Ghana Gypsy Tours. Link will be posted below. My flight was free, and I'll do a video on how I flew to Ghana for free. But I used my travel reward points through my Chase Sapphire Rewards card, Ultimate Rewards. And so I definitely will do a separate video on that. And my journey began, like I said in the previous video, like my soul was calling me to the motherland. I didn't know how I was going to get there or what that looked like, but I knew I was going back home. I felt like I was going back home. And so it started with my doing the ancestry DNA, and I got my results back. My ancestors, according to Ancestry DNA, were from West Africa, Nigeria, Cameroonian region. And so that, you know, it doesn't tell you the tribe, but it definitely gives you an idea, like, okay, I feel like I kind of know, because we all know, you know, the whole transatlantic slaves trade and the Middle Passage, the colonization, they strip and take away your identity, and they give you an identity, tell you you're black, and then you speak English, and then you worship their God. And so for me that was the beginning. And then I embarked on, okay, I'm going back and I'm going to go to West Africa. And I started doing my research and came across this tour company. And then I narrowed it down to, I want to go to Ghana, because if you don't know, the Pan-Africanism movement started by Marcus Garvey and W.E.B. Du Bois. They were headquartered in Ghana. Ghana was one of the first countries to open their arms to African diaspora. And in 2018, the president of Ghana declared 2019 the year of return, opening up their arms and doors to open up the country to the African diaspora. So for me, it felt like, okay, this is where I'm going to go. And so after planning and preparing, I embarked on my journey. It was a 17-hour flight, landed in Accra. We stayed in the eastern region. It was absolutely amazing. Like I just had to just take it all in. Like, I'm in Africa. Like, it was just, you know, I'm in Ghana. It was amazing. And so I got to visit the W.E.B. Du Bois Museum. We went to the first president of Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah. I hope I'm saying his name right. The first president of Ghana Museum and Memorial, Freedom Circle, Freedom Square. Also had an opportunity to go into Kumasi in the Asante region and visit the area there, and the naming ceremony was conducted, and that was life-changing, to have my identity given back to me and to be welcomed into that community by the chief and the queen mother. We also visit the notorious slave castles. That was really difficult. That was really tough. You take a tour, you go down into the dungeon, and the guy that took us in there, he turned the light off. And, you know, at one point, because there was the female dungeon and there were the male dungeons, and, you know, we were in one of the dungeons and he turned the light off. And just for a second, but in that split moment, I just could not even imagine what it was like to first be taken from your home and then to be shackled and chained and having to walk for up to like 2 weeks barefoot, shackled, you know, defecating all over yourself to arrive at this place and then be thrown in this dark dungeon where, you know, there was a church in Cape Coast. There was a church right above the dungeon. So the colonizers, on Sunday worship Jesus, while human beings were suffering underneath in a dungeon, and then not knowing their fate, and then for a ship to arrive and to be loaded on this ship like cattle, and then taken to some, on the bottom of the ship, and taken to some unknown place. And so to be in there in that castle, and to feel that, it was definitely it was difficult. And it's something I think every member of the diaspora should experience. You should know where you come from, and it creates a conversation, and it creates an awareness of who you are. And it definitely was a life-changing experience. And so we also got to visit some beautiful waterfalls and monkey sanctuaries, and I can't think of the name of the park right now. I thought I wrote it down, but I didn't. But it was definitely a life-changing experience. I was there for 16 days, visited the market, which is crazy, and Accra, it was just craziness. But picked up some beautiful fabrics, and a seamstress had a dress made, which I'm wearing right now. Maybe asking yourself, should you go? My vote is yes, absolutely. Every person of the diaspora should make their way back to Ghana, and just to get the experience for yourself. Now, I'm sure your takeaway is going to be different from mine, but listen, white people go to Africa and Ghana all the time. So why are we not going? Why, brown people aren't going? The place is amazing, it's beautiful, and you should definitely go and definitely experience what it's like to be on the motherland, and if not Ghana, somewhere on the continent, the sub-Saharan continent.